Welcome to the City Outskirts Tournament qualifying round, expert division, hole number one. Here we're going to be trying to send it to the green for either an easy putt or an easy in-bringer shot, depending on the kind of bounce you get. Uh, you could spend a little bit more time trying to dial in. There is a shot at a hole in one here, but the shot I'm going to give you should play safe, and all wind strengths and wind directions provided you pull straight and push up accordingly. Um, and it still gives you a chance. Just depends on the bounce you get. So the adjustment for this drive is P5 plus 10 max. We're using an APOC 5 plus and a Zerk. We'll push up depending on wind strength and the plus yards we pull down to. I'll go over that in a second. The base spin is one top spin, two right spin, and it's full controlled overpower. So we're going to set up on top of the island at P5 max rest. APOC 5 and 6, you'll have half the red ring in the left rough at P5 max rest. APOC 7, 1/3 of the red ring in the left rough at P5 max rest. And then APOC 8, you'll have the red ring touching on the left rough, P5 max rest, like you see here. We're going to adjust P5 plus 10 max. What I'll tell you about this is make sure that you have a pretty straight pull angle, because if you pull too much 59 or you pull too much 01, then it changes your push up, right? So if you're pulling a hard 59, you're going to pull down to a lower plus yard than you actually should be at. So say if I pull a 59 and if I pulled it straight, I might end up at the plus 17. If I pull it with a 59, I might end up at the plus 15. And that's going to change what I push up, and it's going to change the bounce and rollout you get, right? So do your best to pull this one as straight as possible so that you can get the most accurate push up. Two right, one top, P5 plus 10 max. What I'll tell you here is if you have a double pull, right? So you say you got an 11.5 pull. My recommendation is you pull the 1.5 first while you're on top of the hill, and then pull the 10 rings. That way you don't have to try to pull the 1.5 when you're down at the bottom there. It's going to be a little tough. Also, make sure you zoom out a fair bit so you don't get caught with that hill. That way you have enough room to actually adjust. So here's what we're looking at for push-ups. For winds in the 10s, if you pull down to the plus 17 or higher, then push up 8 plus yards. If you pull down to the plus 16 or lower, then you'll push up 7 plus yards. That's for winds in the 10s, right? So if your winds are in the 9s, you'll add 2 plus yards to that. So for winds in the 9s, if you pull down to the 17 or higher, you'll push up 10 plus yards. If you pull down to the 16 or lower, you'll push up 9 plus yards. For winds in the 11s, if you pull down to the 17 or higher, you'll push up 7 plus yards. 16 or lower, you'll push up 6 plus yards. That's it. And it's full overpower. Baby right curl. So what we're looking at for the curl is I'm using basically the line on the ball, the gray line here, the right side of the gray line touching the center line as my reference. Do your best to hit perfect. Worst case scenario, you clip the rough and you roll out. You're short of the green, and you got an in-bringer shot. If you have the in-bringer shot, it plays P5 plus 20% EB rule. You'll need 2 left spin only. If you're in front of the green, you definitely want to use the 2 left spin and use the EB rule. Make sure you're not in any glitchy spots But always add 2 left spin, because that slope kind of gives a misleading ball guide. If you don't use 2 left spin on your EB shot, you will most likely miss it. But it works just fine with 2 left spin only, no top, no back, P5 plus 20 EB rule. Otherwise, you should be on the green putting. So if we could have probably pushed that a little bit further up and maybe got a little bit closer to the hole and had a chance, but we had a low wind and we had crosswind. So, a nice, safe, easy putt is good enough for me for qualifying round hole number 1. Good luck. I hope you guys get the drop. Should be hopefully an easy eagle on this one. Moving on to hole number 2. So we'll catch you there. Good luck.